Hey folks, how you doing out there? Welcome to another Drink and a Wink. We're calling this the St. Paddyrama for 2026. I don't know if I like that so much, but hey, I didn't say Patty. Patty, St. Paddyrama. You like that, Michelle?
Sure.
Okay. Uh, Coming at you here, we're going to kind of continue our theme, talking about some Irish whiskey up until St. Patrick's Day, which is what the week from Tuesday, I believe. And kind of had an interesting thought today. First off, I had a wonderful day. This is my second week in a row of doing some judging for school level. Today was I was judging a solo and ensemble contest for Revis. I think it's Revis. I still don't know. I've judged there many, many years, and I hear everyone say the same. I'll say Revis, but it could be Revis. You know what I'm going to do? Revis. Um, and hearing high school both percussion ensemble and solo instruments, I am telling you, I'm just going to be honest. Colleges, especially in Illinois, if you're having trouble getting percussion students, boy, there's no shortage of really good players. And I didn't try to, I can't connect you, but boy, I heard some great stuff. Heard some classics and some new stuff that was really nice. I had a student, made him one of my students of the day, not giving names or anything, played the second Mexican dance, Gordon Stout. Whew, that was great. My Eastern folks, Eastern Illinois University folks, would have been knocked out by this student. I heard another student who's a freshman in high school play some timpani piece that I never heard of. It was some of the best timpani playing I've heard. Boy, really fun. But that's not really what I'm going to talk about today. It was a long day, and it's time to have a little drink. But here's what I'm going to talk about. I'm always trying to differentiate a drink and a wink a little bit. I know I'm going to have a smaller scope than some of these bigger quote-unquote influencers and YouTube folk. But sometimes I'm kind of, it's been a long time trend here, I think, to kind of love to do a little, bashing and tell you what I don't like. And tonight I think I'm gonna change that up a little bit. I was listening to an interesting podcast. It's called The Flop House. It's where three guys, Stuart Wellington and I can't remember the other guy's name. But the main guy that I'm interested in is a guy named Elliot Kalin, who used to write for The Daily Show and all kinds of stuff. Has a cool book out on comedy. And they were kind of talking. They kind of, irreverently make fun of some bad movies. But somebody asked him about, what about stuff that you like and feeling. I'll cut to the chase. Sometimes it's more comfortable. We'll find more comfort and joy, especially with the internet, on kind of telling people what we don't like and kind of making fun of it, than being secure to our beliefs and say I like this, and somebody else might say I don't like that. And then and you know what? Great, fine. I still like it. And that's what brought me to this whiskey. I don't know if it's a great theme, but tonight we're going to talk about a distiller called Glendalough. Okay, Glendalough Irish whiskey. All right. There's just like that high school I talked about before. This has many different pronunciations, but I've heard the master distiller say Glendalough. All right, there you go. Okay, I might be trying to spin a little bit too much Gaelic. But that's it. We talk about the Glendalough Irish whiskey. Now, Glendalough is an interesting company. I can't remember. Oh no, I do remember. They were founded in 2011, and like many Irish distillers, especially at that point, they came back on board, being primarily a sourced whiskey, meaning they were purchasing it from the Cooley Distillery. And like many distilleries that come on board, they start with sourced materials. They do some interesting thing with their, either mostly casking. They might do some interesting stuff with different kinds of casks from what the Cooley Distillery would start with. They age differently, age longer, bottle at a higher ABV. Those are all many different things that they can do to kind of beef up, the whiskey that they're sourcing. Like many distilleries, now they are actually distilling, and their products now are likely a combination of stuff that they are distilling along with stuff that they're still sourcing. I don't think they're 100% sourcing now. That's cool. Here in the United States, many of the bourbons that we like are actually sourced. Sometimes I don't even mention it. Sometimes they don't do anything that very interesting. High West is a good example of people that started with sourced, then were doing a blend of their distillery, and now they're moving more and more of their products here, their rye products and other things, to something that they're making on their own. Nothing wrong with it if you're doing something interesting, if you're doing something of quality. I first started hearing about Glendalough Irish whiskey on some of the podcasts when this 13-year-old Mizunara cask. Mizunara is a very somewhat harder to work with variation on Japanese oak. It's also more expensive for them to buy those barrels. But they just got a lot of good reviews, and we bought a bottle. I think this is maybe our second bottle here, and as you can see, it's going getting towards the end. We completely like this, okay? And some people, when I was first talking about it, was kind of like, oh no, well, it's sourced, and I never heard about it, and you know, trying to be too fancy with all this kind of stuff, and the price tag was pretty big. But I stuck to my guns, and Michelle has always liked this one, right? This one has been great. We do have one more bottle in sealed up that we bought a few years ago that will be opening soon. But what's interesting about this, the combination of this wonderful 13 years in American oak barrel, and then so ex-bourbon barrel, and then finish in this Mizunara oak gives us a wonderful crisp flavor, wafery taste. The addition of that Mizunara oak cask finish gives it a little bite and a little bit of an interesting flavor that we don't get just from bourbon barrels alone. On the nose, a little bit of earthiness along with the bourbon cask influence. It's also aged in ex-bourbon for 13 years. So then we know if this was 2011, we bought this about 5 years ago, I think, starting, maybe even a little longer. It's probably about 5 years ago. I'd have to remember. Yeah, I can't remember exactly. No, I think it would be more like 6 when we bought it. This was obviously all sourced. I know a couple of my other friends that have purchased some other bottles, making it very hard to find here in the Chicagoland area, because I don't know that they're producing it anymore. So finding the Mizunara 13 is quite a find. But like I said, people are like, "What are you talking about? I've never even heard of this." Glendalough is in the Wicklow Mountains. They're still very much a small shop. Now they're using fresh, mountain spring water from those very mountains. Their gin, by the way, we've had your gin and we've enjoyed that, right, Michelle? Yeah. Also very good. The Glendalough gin is really nice. Again, their botanicals are using from the area of Wicklow, with obviously the core ingredient of juniper being brought in. But that was a really nice gin, affordable gin. Check it out. I don't think it's would be considered a London dry gin, but it's very close to that. What they're adding to it, if I remember right, was it kind of had a little bit of a lemony note, right? Yeah. A little bit of lemon and zesty, kind of maybe a little bit of cucumber vibes in there. Again, not added to it, just what the botanicals that they're using are doing. They use 500-liter Holstein copper pot stills. I'm just reading this. And as they say, the Whiskey Encyclopedia is even saying, 2011 they were doing sourced material from Cooley, and now they're starting to mature their own whiskey, their own distillate. Again, bigger nose, can't beat it. I don't know. I've never been to the Wicklow Mountains. I'd like to. If they smell like this, I'm in heaven. A little bit of a nutty note, a little bit of a hint of caramel note, actually, which is interesting. Want to give us a nose or give me any opinion, Michelle? I know she's making some wonderful cocktails with some various gins. Oh, okay. I'll agree with that. Yeah, there is a little bit of a dark fruit note there. But I get a little bit of there's vanilla, but it's more like vanilla bean. It's not Crummy vanilla. On the taste, it's all there. A little bit of a mature vanilla note. And what I mean by that, again, like we're not talking about Breyer's basic vanilla ice cream. Although there is a little bit of that flavor in here too. This has like a warmer feel. There is a little bit of a leather sandalwood note here. That's really tasty, nice and crisp. The Mizunara just gives it some earthiness, some weight to it that really is delicious. The finish is unbelievable. Whereas sometimes when we're having Irish whiskey, I didn't mean to also mention this is a single malt, and that'll come back, meaning this is just malted barley. So this is very much in the Scotch tradition as well, and that's probably why we like it so much. Just malted barley in this. That's the only grain that you're going to find in here, if it's a single malt. Wonderful. I like it. I don't care what anybody says. Look at this, bottled at 46%. It's got a nice weighty feel. The legs on the glass are just, see, look at that, those little oils and stuff like that. How it just kind of, see that? Mm-hmm. You see how the glass is just, it's just great. I love this product. This one is a little hard to find, and if you're going to find it now that it's kind of, I think, out of, want me to try it? You know, I only have the touch for this. Michelle has the touch for lids. I can't do a lid to save my life. Corks I do better if I slow down. It's loose. I did feel it move. But now my hands are slipping. I think you can get it now that I got it. No? Okay, good. All right, teamwork makes the gin work. Okay, I don't know. Anyway, it has. Oh, you know what? Now that I've stopped. There's a little bit of a bitterness coming from a kind of a banana peel note here on the end and the finish. All good stuff. It's just very tasty. This is going to be hard to find, and now it's probably kind of in the collectible range. So it's probably, if you find this, it's probably going to be over $100 at this point. It was a little pricey just to begin with, but we were happy to pay for it because it's really nice. It's not something we guzzle. Other products in their line. I am out of the double barrel, but that's the bottom of their core range. We really like that one. Just as a standard, maybe, a standard plus. Highly recommend it. If you're checking out some of what I've been talking about, and you're going to try the Jameson Triple Cask, you want to go one level up and notch it up a little bit with some double barrel, both bourbon and sherry cask finishing. Their double barrel is very good. I've had 2 bottles of that. I don't have it now, so it must be pretty good because we drink it. That's good. You want to go up a little bit more. One that a lot of people don't know about is, and this was, I think, was a Binny's selection, was their single cask, which was a single cask aged in Madeira, Santiago, aged Madeira cask finish. This is bottled at 42%, so a little lighter percentage than this. Really tasty. And finally, the pride and joy of Ireland is the pot still Irish whiskey. That's the combination of it's a blend of only malted barley and unmalted barley, nothing else. Usually in copper pot kind of vibes. This one is featured. Sorry, I'm reading this stuff. Kind of hard to remember all this stuff. This is oak ex-bourbon cask, and then final maturation in Irish oak casks from the Wicklow Mountains. That's interesting. From what I understand, that they're using casks from the region, both Scotland and Ireland, has a less nutty taste and maybe a little bit more heather taste, or a little bit more, like I mentioned, that banana peel kind of vibe aging in that oak. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's also a little bit soft or harder. I'm getting over my skis here. This 13 is wonderful. Hard to find. If you really want to try the Mizunara cask, I know that Glendalough treats their Mizunara casks for aging very well. You can also check out, I have not had it, so I can't speak to it. Now in their core range is a 7-year Mizunara cask, also a single malt. Probably just means that they had to move something a little faster than the 13. So I won't say that. I guarantee that this is going to 7 is going to be as quote unquote good as the 13. But I like them all. Again, there's plenty of Irish distilleries that we could name, that bigger names that I enjoy. But what do I really enjoy? I enjoy finding a company that's trying some new things, fairly new on the scene, but it doesn't taste like it. They're doing some little, not major experiments, but they're trying some new stuff. Like I said, Irish whiskey. Let's look at this. What are we calling this?
Blackberry rosemary gimlet.
Blackberry rosemary Blackberry rosemary gimlet. You know what? I'll put that over the camera, but I don't want to spill any on my computer. Look at that. Woo! Boy, that's nice. And that's using some Hendrick's Cabaret.
Yours is the Empress.
Oh, mine is the Empress Indigo Gin. You know what? I don't know if you don't want to be on camera or not. You want to hand me those? And then yours, so mine is just the Empress?
Yeah.
And yours is just the, why did you do it differently?
I wanted to save some Empress for a later time, and I'd already tried it with Empress.
Oh, okay.
I was going to let you try it with the Empress.
That's the Empress. This is the Hendrick's Grand Cabaret. Michelle's getting into flavored gins, but good ones, right? Not kids' flavored gin, right? Oh, you shouldn't have. Kids shouldn't be drinking gin at all. Let's say. Sorry. This isn't gin made for people that go to Dave & Buster's. How about that? I said I was going to be really nice, right? I said I wasn't going to say anything that I don't like. It's good. I'll pull the room together just like the dude's carpet. We like what we like. I like when companies are trying something and still trying to maintain quality and not trying to do something just to create something wacky. And here we go. This is nutty flavors that I don't like, that are overly sweet. When it comes to whiskey, I love it. I love that kind of approach. Glendalough is doing it great. I'm drinking the Mizunara 13. Love it. So happy that I have one more bottle left. I have never had a bad. There's never been a dud in the bunch, including their gin. And we're kind of doing the same thing, including their gin, and then we're also kind of doing the same thing with gins. We're trying some, regular London dry gins that are a little off the, the beaten path, not the ones that we know, but we're still trying to find something A, that we can afford, and B, we're trying some of these flavored ones. We're not buying ones that are just made to, I don't know what, impress by being. We're gonna impress. Okay, I'm losing I was out of the house today at 6:30 in the morning. I really enjoyed judging, but I could show you the list. It was a long day, and I'm very thankful for it. I heard a lot of great students and ensembles, but I was judging and I got a little behind because you might know this about me, I get a little verbose, but I like giving comments to students that deserve comments, and most of the students today deserve comments. Try to help them out and give them some ideas to how to make the music better. I know I'm putting on my music clinician cape, which is not a cape that, they're not going to make a superhero about music clinicians. What am I talking about? Anyway, that's our goal. Anyway, it's been a long day. Check out Glendalough Irish Whiskey. If you want to start with their double barrel and you are a fan of Irish whiskey with a little bit of a sherry note flavor, check out their double barrel. It's really tasty. I've heard the people talk about the product that run the place, that are master distillers. Their heart is in the right place. Okay, check it out. If you want to go up from there, I think your next step would be. Their pot still is as good as anyone else's pot still. I really enjoy that one. We don't get into it as much. I might pour myself a glass of that tomorrow. And there you go. All right. But mostly, this is what I like, and I've given you the reasons why I like it. Giving you a nice product, honestly produced, and if you're not distilling it, kind of let me know what you're doing. do some nice work with it. It's all very good. What was this? A blackberry gooseberry grindcore blemish? What?
Wow.
Blemish?
Blackberry, roseberry.
Wait, you said
Rosemary
you
syrup.
did it wrong. Wow, blackberry rosemary gimlet. Nailed it. Oh God. There's only three kinds of people: the people who can count and the people who can't.